Just tell me when.
Sound muted.
Yes, Tritex. Anybody can have a PTS,
Buddy joined your channel.
we can, yeah, I guess, yeah, we can use you as a patient if you've been trained. Have you been trained before in medical training?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, yeah, you can be a patient, and then we'll come up with a determination. Okay, be patient. I'm gonna advert two more times, and then after that, I'll do last call on the second time. While we're waiting, does anyone have any questions pertaining to medical training? No one has a PTS for... Okay, go ahead, Gray.
If we wanted to become our battalion medic, would this be like kind of a recommendation for that as well?
Mean that you are stationed, it's basically, let's keep in mind, gentlemen, that medics that are on the battlefield do emergency first aid. That's all you're there for. Emergency first aid and defibrillation to try to revive the injured. Okay? What you do aboard this ship, however, are two different things. It's more extensive medical training. It's more of an extensive medical doctor type scenario. Yes, but if you it does give you a little more it does give you a little more help to know that you are being trained as a medical doctor aboard the ship, and for being trained, certified, you know, that type of thing. Okay, give me one more second. We're gonna do a last call. Warrant Officer Keem, could you stop doing that, please? Thank you. It's annoying as hell. It, like, I don't know what it does. It gets into my eardrums, and it just drives me insane. So anyway, not to say that I'm not already insane, but anyway. Okay, gentlemen, so... Okay, gentlemen, thank you for showing up. We will go ahead and start our medical training. Again, this is to give you medical training. It is to identify what a medical officer does aboard this ship. Okay?
Hey, wake
what
up.
you do aboard this ship, this is going to be your home. The med bay is your home for medics. It's what medics do. Okay? Okay, follow me, gentlemen. We'll get started. Okay, gentlemen, you will notice that there are 4 identical bays, such as this. This is where we would treat the patients, okay, for any medical conditions that require any medical assistance. Okay, so this is how we treat patients for any medical problems and in need of any medical assistance. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're going to wash hands, / me washes hands, / roll. Obviously, you want to make sure that you are not spreading any germs or infectious diseases to the patient before we begin. Okay? Now, the thing is, again, the more medics you have on staff, let me make this clear. The more medics you have on staff, the easier chances of actually taking care of the infected or the patient, for that matter.
Buddy left your channel.
Okay? Always consider that as a opportunity. The more medics you have on staff, the lead usually takes, the highest rank usually takes lead as a lead medical doctor, okay? Keep in mind that any medic that has an officer's tag, such as First Lieutenant Kicks here, would actually be, your lead medical physicians. All right, unless there was like a Jedi healer here, okay? Healers have been known to come in from time to time and do medical tasks, all right? So the first thing you're going to do again is you're going to wash your hands and get ready for the patient. Arzan, you're not a patient. We're going to use Tritex here. He has to become a patient on this one. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to, as soon as I complete washing my hands / rolls, I will then, let's everyone wash our hands / roll. I do everything verbally. I don't actually do /me. Verbal commands to me is more efficient because it's letting you know the action that I'm performing, and I'm able to roll on that action. Okay? I can help with sterilization processes with anyone, so, alright. Let me help, Rick. Oh God, that wasn't a help. Let me try. Okay, that helped. Alright, mapper's done. Everybody clean, sterilized, everybody sterilized? No? Okay. Next up, okay, Dax Arzon.
Your hands are...
Okay, Dax is good, Arzon. God, try again. Check the water system. Good to go on it. Okay, so once we get once you get sterilized, okay, as a medic, first thing you're going to do is come up to the patient. Nightmare, you're not a patient here. Tritex is the patient. So first thing I'm going to do as a medic is I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to take a heart rate and blood pressure. So blood pressure and heart rate, and then do /roll. Okay, I was successful on that. Again, the more medics you have on staff, the greater your chances of success in the heart rate and blood pressure. The highest roll usually is the one that says the blood pressure stable, heart rate is good. Okay, so Tritex, what seems to be the problem today?
Well, I can't feel my right leg, and I can't feel my toe on my left, and my thumb, I can't feel it either. I don't even think it's there anymore.
Okay. Okay, so in this case, in this situation, this patient has some numbness in various extremities of the patient. Okay, that would indicate that he has possible spinal damage, maybe due to a past war of some sort. Okay, now what I would do normally is I would have my med kit out. I would scan the patient using the med kit, scanning from head to toe. Kix is doing it now. He would be able to scan the patient for abnormalities in the spinal area, seeing as he has deadness or numbness in various locations of his body, right? Once we get that scan, he will then /roll for the scan and verify what the problem is. Again, you can also do pupil dilation, tongue and throat situations. He apparently doesn't have, his spinal cord is not as damaged as what we would assume, only because he's able to walk freely about the ship. Okay, so that would mean that PTS granted, Gray.
Is it possible that he has blood vessels being restricted, causing damage to the nerves, to his phalanges or his extremity?
Good call, good call. Yeah, that actually is a plausible situation here. Now, what we would do now is, the first thing I would do is come back over to this computer and verify whether or not this patient had a pre-existing injury. Okay, so excuse me, pardon me. I would come over here, I would actually do /me, types in patient records. I'm doing it verbally. I'm going to go ahead and log in the patient's records, /roll. Okay, I failed on the rolls, meaning I don't have any other information pertaining to this injury, so this is the first time he probably ever occurred with this injury. Okay, So I'm going to go ahead and come back to the patient. So this is the first time you've encountered this problem, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so again, he has some restricted blood vessels that probably have some damage. Kicks was the one that rolled the highest roll for the problematic situation. Kicks, what do you think the issue is? What needs to be repaired or replaced? Patient. Okay. So his right leg, reminding you to keep in mind that he said his right leg was numb and he also had numbness in his thumb. Wouldn't that indicate the right extremities of the patient, meaning that he may have some possible spinal injuries? I would suggest rescanning up on the patient, because if he's having it in multiple locations, it would indicate that he may have some spinal injuries that probably need to be repaired. Okay, I'm going to roll for that as well. Damn, we both failed. Okay, everybody roll. Everybody that's in this group, roll. 99, Nightmare. Nightmare's got the highest roll. So Nightmare now, if you were all next, Nightmare would actually continue. He would be lead on this, on the results. Nightmare, what seems to be the results? Do we go ahead and replace the spine? Or do we replace the damaged nerve endings?
Replace the spine.
Your call.
I said replace the spine.
It's fine? Okay, so why does he have numbness in his thumb and his right leg?
It's hard to tell really, but I have seen that there are some issues with the spine.
Okay, so what do we do that if he still can encounter, he can't feel his right thumb or his right leg? What do we do?
We might have to replace some of the
Okay, gentlemen, I'm gonna.
limbs.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right here for a moment. Nightmare, I'm sorry that I put you into this because you were not, you're not a medic at this time.
I'm not actually
I
trained for this,
understand
yeah.
where you're going. That's fine, that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take over as the lead medic on this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and say the scans reveal an abnormality in his spine, in the lower section of his spine. Now, in order to perform an operation of this nature, we have technology that is in lore during our time period, okay? I'm going to speak out of character. During our time period, we had a lore which was nanobot technology. In order to apply nanobots, there would be a canister of nanobots that would actually be able to go into a patient and surgically remove abnormalities or replace product of the patient. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to put this patient in stasis. So what I'm going to do is do /me, puts patient in stasis, /roll. Everyone roll to make sure that we put this patient in stasis. If you're all medics, the highest roll actually wins. Put patient in stasis. Good God. Is anybody 50 in the roll? Boo Boo was the savior in this one, okay? So now we have this patient in stasis. I'm going to let you know that if he talks or moves out of character, if he talks or moves, it is fail RP because he's in stasis. Locked suspended animation. He's in a suspended animated state. We now discover that he needs the lower part of his spine removed and replaced. It's been damaged due to wartime. So what I would do then is I would do /me, applies nano canister to the abdomen or the back region, lower back region of the patient, applying the nanobot technology, okay, /rolls. Okay, I'm going to check the canister for nanobots. I'm going to check the canister to verify whether or not it's good, /rolls. Okay. Okay, so calibrated. Now the nanobots have entered the lower back system of this patient in stasis and has completely removed the damaged unit or damaged spine, okay, area, and has returned back to the canister. I'm going to take the canister and, you know, eventually it'll go back into some type of lab. We'll do it for the lab for testing for later on. Okay, gentlemen, follow me. I'm going to show you what the lab is. Okay, gentlemen, welcome to the lab. This is the most, this is your best friend when you're a medic. Okay? In the lab, you're going to notice 2 incubation chambers. These incubation chambers came from Camino. Could you tell me what else came from Camino?
Us, sir.
Correct. All of you. So again, these incubation chambers make any type of product, and all of you are exactly the same. So if you need a spine, if you need a piece of spine, if you need a heart, a lung, a leg, an arm, you can have it removed and replaced. So now for primary system and secondary system, I'm going to go to the primary system and I'm going to do /me creates infected or creates lower spine area for the patient. I'm sorry, that other patient, is he still on the gurney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, bring him here, please, because out of character, bring him here. We're going to make it out of character. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to do that. He is in stasis. I know that. We're going to play this, role play this as if he's in stasis. I need him to know this. It's very important that he knows this in the lab area, okay? I do apologize. Give me a minute. Okay, so
We got him.
we're going to pretend Tritex. That's good. Tritex is in stasis in the lab area. We have removed his lower spine. I'm going to go to the primary systems and actually roll to recreate his lower spine. Okay, that means I was successful. Usually if there's a set of medics here and there's a group, we would all roll. Whoever has the highest roll has the better quality lower spine unit, the best quality, okay? Now, the spine unit is already implemented into a canister with nanobot technology. So now we take the lower spine unit back to the patient. So Tritex, go ahead and get back on the gurney.
You okay, Arson?
Okay, gentlemen, so we now have the patient's lower spine unit, okay? That already came in the containment unit. Whenever you take anything from the incubation chambers of Camino, those incubation chambers usually come with nanobot technology in a canister. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the nanobots to the lower back area of this patient to regroup or to recreate a new lower spine for this patient. /rolls, of course. So I do /rolls. I was successful on /rolls. Again, if I had a group of medics here, I would have all my medics roll. So whoever had the highest roll actually had the highest success rate for the nanobot technology to re-implement the spine. The nanobots then retreat back to the canister. The seal of the wound is closed. It actually is ready to be removed. I remove the canister. You can do all of this in RP if you wish. Anyone can extend RP if they wish in order to remove the canister, that type of thing. So now what's next? We take the patient out of stasis. So I'm going to go ahead and do /me, pulls patient out of stasis, /roll. Okay, something's wrong with the stasis unit. I'm going to go ahead and check the batteries in my med kit and try again. Okay, the patient has been out of stasis and is revived. Now, the one thing you're going to do is you're going to hold the med kit. You're going to have the patient follow your med kit back and forth, okay, to verify that he is actually stable. You're going to ask him questions. Tritex, what ship are you on right now? Okay, so the patient would then not respond. You'd know that you'd need a little more time for him to come out of stasis. So the point is, you would ask the patient questions. What ship are you on? What was the last thing you remember? What's 2 plus 2? Simple questions to get simple answers to verify that the patient is clear to actually be removed from medical. Okay? What battalion are you in, Tritex? Corporal?
501st.
And what's your job?
I'm an engineer, sir.
Good job. Okay, you're all set. So, now what you do as a medic is you would come over to the machine over here. Now, some of our medics, they do have their own documents. If you're a medic, you can actually create your own document in Google Docs and log in the patient's name and record what you have done and what the patient had went through, okay? I know that it's your own personal documents. I wish we had a medical document that had everything on it as far as I do believe we do. Do we not? And anyway, not important at this time, but there are battalions that have their own medical documents that record the patients and the problems that the patient had, that type of thing, okay? So what I would do is I would go ahead and log in the patient's records, go ahead and verify the patient has been cleared for service to go back into active service, so Captain Apple could actually know, any officer would know that they're cleared for service and they're medically cleared. So then you would take Tritex out of the med bay, excuse me, Admiral. Excuse me, Admiral. All right. You would bring the patient to this area. You would then hands the patient a clipboard for signing out his release. You would have him sign out for a release, and also if you need to prescribe this patient any medication, this back shelf is a medical. You can actually prescribe medication to a patient for 100 credits. Nothing major, but it is for the role play, ERP purposes, okay? So you can hand the patient medication and have them come and see you in 3 weeks if they're still experiencing any kind of problems or complications. All right? Any questions so far pertaining to the medical training you're receiving? No? Very good, gentlemen. Follow me. We got some more to go. Okay, gentlemen, welcome to post-quarantine. This is quarantine protocol. Whenever there's a quarantine protocol, the first thing a medic's going to do is know that this is under emergency terms. They will call ST to the med bay for a lockdown. Usually it's a radioactive. You're either radioactive or you had some type of infection. Okay, so this basically is hermetically sealed off, this room, from any other part of the med bay, and basically we put all our patients in here. So what we do is we verify what the problem is first. The medics would go to the medic lounge across the hall here. We would actually put on hazmat suits, obviously, for containing, okay? So we would all do slash rolls for hazmat suits, putting on my hazmat suit. Gonna help Gray with his. Good God. Okay, gonna help Boop Boop with his. Alright. So the point is, when you roll successful, re-roll for, gonna help Nightmare with his. Try again. Okay. I hate my rolls. Okay, good enough. Apo. Got Apos. Ramal. Try again. Good God. Keem, thank you. Good God. Okay. All right. So basically, the reason why we have our hazmat suits on, gentlemen, is because we do not want to be cross-infected or cross-contaminated. Okay? So, whenever the patients are all locked in this room, the first thing you're going to do is verify what their problem or condition is. Okay? So let's say that they have a conditional problem with an infection that you're not aware. All right? The first thing you're going to do is approach the one patient. You're going to draw blood from that patient. Okay? Follow me back to your best friend, the lab. Okay, gentlemen, welcome to the blood transfusion machine. The blood transfusion machine will separate red blood cells from white blood cells. We'll go ahead and run the patient's blood for a determination on what an antidote is. So, I would go ahead /me, run patient's blood, and find an antidote /roll. Obviously, if I had a group of medics, the highest roll would have the best standards. I have failed to roll. I must check again. Rerun the blood. Boy, oh boy. Let me recalibrate the machine. /me recalibrates machine. Let's go ahead and try again. Good God, I suck. I'm going to go ahead and figure out whether or not this vial is working. Check the machine equipment. Try again. Try it. I'm tired of rolling. My life sucks. No, just kidding. Okay. So, I rolled a 96, meaning that I have found an antidote. So now I'm going to recreate the antidote on a certain level to where I can inject all patients one by one. Okay, so then you would take this back to the containment unit, the containment area. You would inject /me inject patient with the antidote /rolls, of course. That means it was successful. You have the patient removed one by one. You escort the patients one by one out of the facility. You always make sure ST is guarding the door. The med bay, whenever there's a quarantine, gentlemen, and you're a medic, the med bay is on lockdown. Does everyone get that? Med bay is on lockdown whenever there's a quarantine situation. All right? So whenever you have a quarantine situation, always make sure the med bay is on lockdown, and then you escort each one out individually. Now, for radioactive materials, or someone that has radioactive poisoning, you would escort the patients one by one from here into the decontamination unit. One by one, you would take the patient, you would go ahead and do /me, runs decontamination process /roll. Okay, that means I was successful with decontaminating the patient. You would then go ahead and escort the patient out of the facility. Once you are done with all the patients, you must decontaminate yourself. Okay, so /rolls on yourself is also necessary. Once I have completed the decontamination process of myself, then I would have an engineer. I would call an engineer to the med bay for a cleaning and a sterilization of the med bay. They would then reprogram a drone or a droid They would program a droid or drone to come in and do a cleaning, a thorough cleaning and sterilization of the med bay. Any questions so far related to your training? No. Very good, gentlemen. Follow me. Got one last slide.
Sir, I don't think that's how you sit on the chair.
Apparently not, no. Okay, gentlemen, this is not only a waiting center. Okay, you have to realize that you are not only a physical medical doctor, you are also a mental health specialist. As a medic, you can also provide one-on-one counseling with patients. Make sure you keep it in RP, okay? If somebody tells you that they like a furry stuffed gerbil stuffed up their ass on a daily occasion, it's bullshit, okay? Don't go with your RP. If they want to fail RP, tell them to leave. Point I'm trying to make is that if you're doing any type of medical assistance, providing any type of mental health is also acceptable. You can advert as a medic, you can advert, mental health one-on-one counseling or group counseling for that matter, okay? But if you are a medical professional and you are medic certified, you can provide counseling, okay? If you need to, if the person has mental conditions that really can't be, focused on or can't be treated by replacing his brain, then you can come over here and give him medication and sign him out at the desk, of course, and you can prescribe him medication, okay? You can prescribe him medication and charge him 100 credit. Keep it in RP, okay? Any other questions pertaining training you received today? No stupid question, Okay, Greg, go ahead.
Does this training transfer over? Does this training transfer over to other characters, or is it only this clone character that now knows how to medically assist people?
Medical training for medics is both is any medical class of any battalion medic and the Jedi healers.
Okay.
Jedi healers are considered medics as well.
I have a question.
Right. Go ahead.
You said something about transferring credits. How do you transfer credits?
Oh, somebody would just drop /50, drop 100 credits. Slash drop 100 credit. That's all it would be. Basically, it's just for RP purposes. It means that you're paying, or what is it? /drop money, 100 credits. I guess. I can't remember offhand, but I guess it's not necessary. See, there we go. There's 100 credits. I would suggest not doing it all the time because it does lag the service. Alright. So again, when you're doing it for RP purposes. It is actually payment for the prescription drugs and the prescription medication. Any other questions, gentlemen?
What if they refuse to pay you?
If they refuse to pay you, then you go to their higher rank and tell them that they're not getting prescribed any medications until they actually pay for the medication. All right. Any other questions, gentlemen? None? Very good, gentlemen. That will conclude our medical training program. You have been extensively medic trained aboard this ship. You are dismissed. You can go about your free. You're free to go about your daily activities. You may.